Hello.
Hi. I'm just gonna give it another second.
Hey.
I'm kind of running around with my head cut off.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know
I'm
what
here.
that feels like.
Hey, Linda.
How you doing, Ray?
I'm here. Yippee-ki-yay. Welcome aboard. Hey, Andrew, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Ray.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good. Ooh. I pretty much did this myself, so yay.
Hey, good,
Yay.
good for you.
Yeah, I just got a cell phone last week, you know. No, I'm only kidding, but I don't do a lot on the computer, but
That would be impressive, especially after COVID. If you waited this long, that would be very.
no, YouTube and I are pretty good buddies.
Yeah. Okay. It's hoping for tonight to be a relatively quick meeting. Oh, Corey is here. Just add Corey. So we have enough for quorum. I'm going to start reading the intro, and then we'll see if anybody else joins. Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Taxation Aid Committee meeting. It is 5:34 on Thursday, October 6th. In keeping with an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency signed into law by Governor Baker on June 16th, 2021, this meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board and commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. To use Zoom, you will need to use the link on the agenda or download the Zoom application at zoom.us and create an account, or use one of the call-in numbers listed on the agenda. You will need the webinar ID to join by phone only. While conducting meetings remotely, we will endeavor to keep meeting operations as close to our standard procedures as possible. However, use of this platform will necessitate some additional meeting protocols. While the board members or commissioners will be on video and audio, public participants will join the webinar as attendee, meaning they will be muted and with no live video feed from them. During the public testimony portion of the meeting, members of the public can be recognized by using the raise hand function found on the participants from Zoom, or make a request with the Q&A function. If you're joining by phone, you can press *9 to raise your hand. If an applicant wishes to display materials, please make the request of the chair and email the materials to the board staff for sharing on screen. When starting testimony, please state your name and address for the record. There is a markup function in Zoom which will allow you to call out specific areas of presentation materials. As in any public meeting, indecent behavior will not be tolerated, and anyone who abuses the use of this meeting platform will be terminated from the meeting. Business will be handled at all times indicated on the agenda. Business not concluded in the allotted time will be tabled to the end of the meeting to allow for timely log on and remote attendance. Board members are asked to announce themselves when making a motion and second, so that it be clear to the audience and minute takers who made the motions. All votes will be by roll call. When all business indicated on the agenda has been completed, the members will vote to adjourn the meeting, signaling the end of the meeting and the termination of the ECAT recording. All participants will be disconnected from the webinar at that time. Applicants will join the webinar as attendee and be promoted to panelists at their agenda item. Applicants will then be able to share their screens, present materials. As much as possible, presentation materials should be provided beforehand and loaded into permanent eyes so that they can be included on the public record. Individual board chairs and staff may wish to keep screen sharing to their own computers. Applicants are encouraged to speak with staff prior to meeting on how material will be presented. Okay. It looks like it is just us, but we will just keep going. So the first item on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes from 2 weeks ago.
I would move that we accept those minutes as written.
I second that, Ray Morrell.
All right. We'll vote. Linda,
Hawks, yes.
Andrew Fleischer, yes.
Ray Morrell, yes.
Okay, great. So essentially the whole reason I wanted to have this meeting and the last meeting was to kind of discuss, well, I should announce what we're doing now. We're on to item 2, reviewing changes to the application. So I hope you all got my email. I'm sorry that I sent it only a couple hours before the meeting, but I'll share it and go through it. But I made some changes to the application, and everything I changed, well, some things I changed kind of last minute, but there were small changes. But most of the changes I made were per the discussion that Linda, Megan, and myself had last week, and we're the only people to attend, so majority ruled. So we made some small changes, but some significant changes based off of, kind of our experience over the summer with the applications. So I am going to share my screen and we'll go through it. And what I'm intending to do here is that we'll kind of do this by consensus. So Ray, if you want to make a change, or Linda, you want to make a change, or you don't like how I wrote something, let me know and we can change it. And then at the end, I'd like to vote on the application as a whole. And then that will be the application we use this fall.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good, yes.
Okay. Everybody see my screen or have the email in front of them?
Yes.
Okay. So the first part that changed is the median income. And so we had decided, we can decide at any point in time what the criteria are going to be for for income or for any criteria on this application. But keeping in the spirit of what we did last year, we did 80% of area median income. So that figure updates each year. So these are the numbers as published by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, I believe. So that's where those are coming from. They've gone up slightly, about I think the first category is about $3,000 higher.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. It's more like 56 to 62.
Oh, okay.
There's at least $6,300 there.
Okay, my apologies.
That's all right, but it's a good, my point is that that's a nice little increase. That'll help capture a few more people.
Certainly is.
Yeah, and I would assume that this is was a result of the inflation that everybody's feeling. So it's going to be helpful that we can increase the limit as everything else in this world increases. So and just chime in if there's anything, or if you want to go backwards and talk about anything, let me know as well. So the application process part, the only thing changed here is the date. It looks like Corey made some changes on this too. He added the Ames Free Library. So Ray, our original goal was to have a start to this program where we receive applicants starting October 15th, and then through November 15th. And then we'll make a decision. We have some flexibility to make a decision, but the goal is to meet in early December, first or second week of December, or twice if we need to. We needed to before, so probably twice. And then if we have to make any additional edits or ask for more information, we can go back, and we have until the end of January. Or I think January 20th is like our hard and fast deadline from Linda.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay. And
Andrew, I did have one little question. I know it's already come up. How do we want to handle people whose properties are in a trust? I mean, it says it needs to be owner occupied. Have held title to the taxed property for one or more years. And the
so
applicant must be a titled owner or
Oh.
hold a life estate, which that's true too.
life is so that's a good question. What I'm thinking is that the trust is the owner of the property, and the people on the trust are the owner, right? Am I?
It de-
I think it depends upon the type of trust, but that's going a little bit above my head into the league, whether it's revocable or irrevocable.
Right.
I don't know how the assessors
above my
handle
head
that.
as well.
I think that's going to be how the attorney sets it up for the family, period.
Yeah, I mean, how we accepted it before was that if the trust owns it, that is, if it's owned by a trust, that was fine, and we moved forward.
So long as the applicant is living in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does this? I would have to defer to Ray. Is this, or to someone else who's experienced stuff like this before? How do you normally handle it if someone's applying and the house is owned by the trust? I mean,
The only thing I would say to that is how the attorney set it up. If the people are living there, But I don't know what the rule is per se. I'm on the Board of Assessors. I am not an assessor. That would be more to Robbie Alford or to check on that. I could ask him about that and be back in the next meeting we have. I'll get an answer on it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really know, but I feel like the way we were proceeding was that if
If the people live there,
people
That's e-
live there and it's owned by the family trust, then we moved forward as though they owned it.
we're not in a trust.
Yeah, so I don't know. You're I don't know any better than you guys.
Yeah, I do see there were others that had revocable trusts. I think I'll probably just continue to tell them to apply anyways, and we'll figure it out. There was a couple that were part of trusts. One was a
Yeah,
trustee.
I would definitely lean toward. I would always lean towards apply first and ask questions later. Because if you don't apply, we can't consider it.
Right.
So maybe we can get. I don't think we disqualified anybody last time because it was owned by the trust, and I think there were some applicants that fell into that category.
Yeah.
But if we could get some clarity as to how it's, I would kind of like to defer to how the assessors handle it,
Reassess. Yeah. Yep.
because
We did have 4 applications that were held in different ways by trusts. Nominee trust, a revocable trust. One person, I don't know if it was revocable or not, but they were the trustee. So I think it would be good to defer to however the assessors handle it.
yeah, so Ray, if it could be some homework for you to just kind of understand how when someone applies for a different exemption and the property is owned by a trust, how that is handled.
Yes, I will do that.
Because
And I think right now our chief assessor is on vacation. I believe he is.
Yeah.
And when he comes back, I think next week, I will do that.
okay. Yeah, I don't think we need an answer. I don't think we need an answer until December.
Sure.
Because it would be nice to list it on the application, but we do have it on the application that we are kind of the final
Yep, I
decision.
got you.
So, yeah, I think whatever works for the assessor should work for us.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So I put in the date. There's the one item I wrote, I changed, and it says your 2021 federal income tax submission must accompany this application if you're required to file. If you're not required to file, you must sign the attestation at the bottom of the application. So to skip ahead to keep it all together clearly here. So at the bottom we have we state again, you must attach a copy of your 2021 federal income tax return. If you're not required to file a 2021 return, please sign below. And it just says, I was not required to file a federal income tax return. So this was, I think this is to just add clarity to a lot of people's applications. I think there were, I would guess about like a third of the people who applied, did not stated they were not required to file. So rather than having Linda's office make a phone call they can put it right here on the application, and we'll take
Yeah.
their signature as their word on that. So that was, I think that will streamline things and save us a little bit of time this time around. So that was the purpose behind that.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
yeah. So going back up top, so I reread the whole thing. So I made a couple of changes to some wording as, you know, as I saw fit. So I just changed it to, since the funds are typically replenished annually through voluntary contributions. It said are replenished. I changed it to typically, because when we originally wrote this application, ARPA funds didn't exist, to us at
Right.
least. So, and I said, and I just put the town cannot guarantee any distributions in a given year. And I wrote, if the fund is depleted, to just for redundancy. And then I also removed the part where we said will not exceed the real estate tax liability, because obviously in practice,
Right.
with the ARPA funds, we've been
Yeah.
exceeding the liability. So I
Yep.
wanted to remove that. So the other changes here are just the date. I put my email address in there if anybody wants to email me. Here. So the other major change, those are just minor things that I saw, but the other major change that came out of this summer is that I think the main thing that we struggled over was how to consider other adults living in the household. And I think part of the struggle was not having all the information, and we didn't ask for all the information. So this time around, Megan, Linda, and I decided that the way to do that would be to say, if other adults reside in the household, you must list their income and provide copies of their 2021 federal income tax return. So if there's anyone other than the owner in the household, we need to see the same information as though they are the owner. So I think that will be very helpful to us. It will probably weed out some people who are, trying to
Manipulate the system.
manipulate the system a little bit. Yeah. I was looking for the right word. So hopefully, because if you have an adult in the house who's making a good salary and you ask them for their tax return, it might
Right.
stop things set in their tracks. So, all right.
Andrew, before we go on to the actual application, there's the very last sentence on the first page is or email to LHOX.
Yeah.
Could we remove that? People will be sending me their like bank account number. Like I get so much stuff.
Okay.
And I don't think that would be too much of a hardship given the population that we're targeting here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them sending their tax returns through email.
100%. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll remove that.
And actually, also see where it says Town of Easton Attention Tax Aid. It's Northeastern. We're in Northeastern. Just FYI.
Down here.
Yep.
Okay. So the major change here on this piece was that statement about other adults. And then down here, I kind of clarified that when they're entering their gross income,
Yep.
that there's a column for applicant 1, applicant 2, or I could change it to owner and spouse or whatever. I went with applicant,
I like that.
then other adult in-house.
Yep.
And then back down here, we're back to the other changes. So largely the application stays the same. It just kind of is an attempt to get ahead of some of the major hurdles we were kind of running into that we didn't anticipate when we first drew this up. So any Ray or Linda or Corey, any thoughts on the application or any changes you'd like to see made?
I think that looks pretty good. I appreciate everything you did, Andrew.
Looks good to me. I agree.
Yep, looks good. And going forward, I'll use that same source for the AMI. It was interesting. I found a incorrect source out there, but I checked with Wayne at Housing, so
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
Corey,
good.
Corey, thank you for getting me on the email.
Anytime, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is good. And I feel like as long as we're taking it from the federal government, we can kind of rely on that number. So I like it that we cited the source in the application this time. So I would like to have a vote on this since we're going to be using this to determine the criteria. So if there's no other debate, I'd like to put it to a vote, and, or I guess someone needs to make a motion to put it to a vote.
I would move to accept that application with the edits as presented here.
I second the motion.
Okay. All right. Roll call vote then. Linda?
Hawks, yes.
Andrew Fleischer, yes.
Ray, yes. Ray Morrell, yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Excellent.
So I'll stop sharing, and I will send that to everybody and to Corey to post on the website.
Awesome. And I will, I've gotten many calls. I'll get together the same list of people that got exemptions last year. Corey, probably your list hasn't changed very much. The people who have veterans benefits.
Yep.
I'll send everybody out a letter, an application again.
Mhm.
And then I'm developing a small list of people who aren't eligible for exemptions and don't really fit either one of those categories. And I told him I'd just send him an application whenever we had it ready.
Great.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah. I think the letters were great last time, and if we can add anybody to that list,
Yep.
that would be awesome, because I think that's most of the attention we get, and maybe a little bit from social media, someone sees it. So what would be the timeline on sending those letters out? Would you be able to get them out next week?
I can't promise that. I can try next week. It's a short week, and I have so much going on. I will try my best, but if it's not by the end of next week, it would be by like Wednesday of the following week.
Yeah, it would just it would be nice if we could get them out around the 15th that we set as our start date.
Yeah.
Linda, reach out to me if you want some tax work off folks to assist with that. Or,
okay.
And then additionally, going forward, so last year we didn't have Tracy Levine, who's a benefits and grants navigator in our office at Frothingham Hall. basically she assists residents to apply for benefits just like this. So if you know, gets a little crazy, people coming in asking for help, feel free to refer them over to her.
Okay, okay,
And myself as well. So
okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I think we'll kind of proceed as we did last time. I'll try and get a social media post out there. I will get a social media post out there. I will try to get, I will send an email. I did it in June. I sent an email to various news outlets. It did not get any response, but I will try again. And then since I have Kelly on the phone, Kelly, did do we still have time to get into the November Council on Aging newsletter?
I can try. It's pretty full, but I can try my best. I'll get it in there. Don't worry.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
Yay.
We just need a couple of lines.
Yep,
So
I'll probably use the same thing I used last time. It was pretty general, but I'll just double check it. I'll have Corey look at it, make sure it still applies, everything that was in it, a little
Yeah.
blurb.
Yeah, you can email me as well. Or I can, if you want me to just write something up really quick, I can. I would just be a couple of lines as to what it is and who can apply.
I'll send you what I
Or
used
how
last
to
week. You
apply.
can let me know how it looks. How about that?
That'd be great. That'd be
Okay.
great. Appreciate that.
No problem.
So if anyone else, I mean, that's kind of everything we did last time around. And you know, I think this time I'll try and sneak in the fact that we have $100,000 to put in the hands of taxpayers. So maybe that'll get some people's attention. You know, nice big round number like that. But if anyone else has any other suggestions of you know, not just news outlets, but community groups that we should reach out to so that they can tell their members or anything like that, please just let me know. I'd be happy to call or email anybody. It's just, I feel like we're kind of limited in what people pay attention to. So
Who normally gets something into the little weekly electronic newsletter that the town puts out?
I can do that.
Okay,
That one I can do. That and the social media, I know who to email.
okay, yes,
So I will handle that.
okay.
And then obviously word of mouth, I think, you know, yeah, you guys being able to tell people who come into your office that that this is available, I think is great. And it seems like from when we met with the select board in the summer, they were really trying to spread the word about this as well. So hopefully the town's aware that this exists and that it's there for them.
Okay.
So I think that brings us to the next point in discussion. So I'll recap on that. I'll handle social media. I'll handle the town crier. Linda and Corey will get together on the letters, and then Kelly will touch base with us on the Council on Aging newsletter, and anything else we can think of. And yeah, and I'll reach out to the local newspapers or news websites and see if maybe this time they'll take a bite. So the next item of discussion is when we will meet next. So the next time we meet, we should be discussing applicants. So I want to see if we can do that in person. I think as far as deliberating applications, I think that will make for a smoother process. And a more engaging discussion. I think we did a great job doing it over Zoom, but I think it'll just be better if we can all be in a room together to do that in executive session. So the whole time we've had this committee, it's all been remote. So who can help me navigate through booking a room and things like that? Would that be you, Corey?
Yeah, Andrew, you can email myself and Kelly if you want to book at Frothingham Hall, which might be a good location. We got
Definitely. Yes. Yeah. Email me and I'll get us in there.
Okay. Would if we tentatively agree on a date today, or would that work, or is it likely that we'll have to? I don't know how often rooms are booked, so if I throw out like December, let me look here.
It should be fine as long as it's not, I think the select board usually meets Mondays, Tuesdays. So as long as it's a Wednesday or a Thursday, it should be fine.
All right, so I'm gonna throw out Thursday, December 8th. How does that sound?
That's probably not a good day for me in the afternoon.
Okay. Thursday, December 15th. It'll give us a full month. It'll give you a full month to kind of digest those applications and for everybody to think about it too.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Andrew.
Yep.
I just want to say something, on November 21st.
Yeah.
I am having a knee replaced on the 21st, but I think by the 15th of December, I may be somewhat mobile. So I don't know that exactly, but I think I should be. I may come in there with a walker or something like that. I don't know what kind of how it's going to go in that department, but I certainly will make the meeting if I can.
Okay. Well, first off, good luck, and keep us all updated, because I really want to have a full committee for these discussions. So
I should be okay, and that's almost a month out, and usually around that time you're up and around.
Okay. Yeah, a full committee I think is great for these discussions because everyone has a different perspective.
As an alternative, should we see if we can get December 1st, which is 2 weeks earlier? When are the applications due by again? November.
I said November 15th. I don't know if that gives you enough time. And that's right. So the December 1st would be right after Thanksgiving, I believe. Or we could always grab a Tuesday. Maybe on I think it might just be a good idea for us to just plan on having, maybe we could do Tuesday, December 13th and Thursday, December 15th, and just plan that we will need both days, because we definitely did last time. And that'll prevent us from having one like marathon session or taking two, because by the 15th, if we don't get everything done, we probably won't get back to it till January.
Yeah.
So how would that sound? That Tuesday the 13th tentatively, and Thursday December 15th, both at 5:30, let's say. And subject to room availability and raise recovery. If we want, just let me know, and we can always do Zoom so that we can all be there, because I think that's more important. Having everybody there is more important than meeting in person.
Hey, if I can make it, I'll make it. It just That's all.
Yeah,
Make your move on what we're doing and we'll be fine.
sounds good.
Okay,
Okay,
All right.
so I believe that's it. Quickest meeting on record.
Yeah, not bad.
And we'll touch base on all these things, and we'll all be in contact through email, but I'll plan the next time we see each other will be in person on the 13th, and we'll talk about room availability. I'll email Corey and Kelly after this too. So
Okay.
all right.
okay, so I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
Okay.
I second it too, and have a nice Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay, so quick roll call vote. Linda,
Hawks, yes.
Andrew, yeah, Fleischer, yes.
Ray Morrell, yes.
Okay. We'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you all later.
Have a great night.
Yep.
Thanks,
take care.
Andrew. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you, Corey. Linda.